What is going on, guys? Today I just want to give sort of an update on the RB20, let you guys know where we're at. We're actually pretty close to the first startup, but we still got a few things we got to go over. Before we get into that, I just want to start a new thing for the channel. Start doing question of the day. Today we're going to do you have a project car? Because I have a project car, and it's this beautiful S13 that's a mess right now, but I'm curious, do you guys have project cars? Comment your project car down below. And without further ado, let's just dive right into the video. So here's my project car. It's my S13. We got an RB20 in her with a nice big Turbski. We'll just set this guy here for now so we can go look inside the beautiful turbo. So I just want to update you guys on a few things. There's a few things that need to be done, but I'm only going to go over a couple things. But real quick, I just want to get out of the way. There's only 3 things left, and then we can start the motor. And that's the fuel lines, oil lines, the ECU, and then once the cabin wiring is done, then we can start the car. But speaking of wiring, I figured I'd give you guys a little update because I'm still making that video. Essentially, all the electronics in the front half of the car are all right there, all coiled up. On the passenger side, everything's labeled, good to go. We've got our fuse panel, that's this box right there. All our fuses and relays are in there. And we actually have the back of the car now wired up, good to go. Those wires, some of them are up there in that mess. And then we've got some wires by the fuse box. So that's that. Both the front and the rear are all good, and they're all the wires are ready to be landed in the fuse box. And so I have to go to the steering column, and then we're gonna do our switch panel and all that fun stuff. So we're probably about halfway done, which is good. I mean, I wish I was further along, but these things take time. Okay, so along with showing you guys how far we are with the wiring, I also want to go over how the video is going to be laid out for the wiring, just so you're not like, oh, what the fuck, 50-minute video, or however long it's going to be. I honestly don't know yet. We're about halfway and I'm already at the 30-minute mark and we still got more to go. So I'm going to try to make it as short as I can, but at the same time contain as much information as I can. So if you want to do your own chassis harness, you'll be able to do it just off watching that video. The only way that I can see that working is having it in one big long video and then having in the description timestamps. So like at 2 minutes, oh, this is me going over which plugs do what and which wires do what on which plug, and just walking you through what you need to know if you want to do a chassis harness exactly like mine, which will just be bare bones, no fancy anything. The fanciest thing on there is windshield wipers. So that should give you an idea of the amount of things that's going to be on there. It's not a whole lot. And then at like 30 minutes and like 15 seconds or whatever, it'll be like, oh, this is wiring up the headlights, or this is wiring up the taillights. So if you're stuck on a certain part in your chassis harness, then you can just skip to there. It'll be already there. You don't have to remember or write it down, which time it was when that happened. You can just go in the description, click on the little timestamp, and it'll take you directly to whatever time it's set at. I think that's the most intuitive way of doing it, rather than doing like sections, which I was originally going to do. Like I was going to do, okay, here's identifying all the plugs, and here's wiring up the front half, and here's wiring up the rear, and then here's landing everything in the fuse box, and here's the steering section, and just all kinds of stuff. Like, I think it's just more intuitive if it's all at one spot and one video. You just have to go to one video. You don't have to try to search and try to figure out which video contains what. You could just go in the description and you'll be able to see what's there and go directly to it. And I will be saying that at the beginning of the video, and probably periodically throughout. I'll remind you guys that, hey, everything's in the description if you want to jump to this point, or you need to go back to this point, just so it's more intuitive for you guys. Yeah, so I just wanted to throw that out there before you notice the video going up that's like 50 minutes long or an hour long or however long it's going to be. Hopefully right around 50 minutes, 45 to 50 minutes, that's what I'm shooting for. But I don't know, guys, it's a lot of information, and I want it to be the most intuitive, easy to follow video for you guys. Well, alright, so yeah, that's just going over the wiring and everything, just letting you guys know, just hey, that's how it's going to be done. Now, another thing that I want to go over is the oil lines for it. I was hoping on, this is actually my clutch line, the Chase Bays one. I got to figure out which end does what. Let me know if you guys know that. It didn't come with instructions, and they're both the same thread, so I'm assuming it doesn't matter, but if it does, you know, definitely let me know. But this guy right here, this whole little mound of stuff, it's dash 10 AN line. I actually got 20 feet. There's 10 there and 10 there, and I actually got one of the fittings on already. AN fittings are, honestly, they're not that hard, but they're kind of difficult when you don't know what you're doing. But yeah, I got a lot of fittings and 20 feet of dash 10 AN line, so I figured I'm probably going to need like 15 feet, so I just got 20 feet, just, you know, just to be safe. But I'm still waiting on fittings to come in because it got a little more complicated than I originally thought. So yeah, I think that explains where we're at. Once we get the oil lines and the wiring done, we'll do the fuel lines, and then from there we'll do the ECU. Yeah, I mean, we made quite a lot of progress. We did start this build 6 months ago, I think. And I mean, 6 months ago this had a KA in it, and up until a month ago actually it had a KA in it, and we got rid of that and then dropped the RB in. The RB's got to come out though now, because we also don't have the trans hooked up. I don't know if you can see, because this motor is going to be coming out, because I am going to be painting the engine bay. As weird as that sounds, like, oh, it's an off-road car, isn't it going to get dirty? If I follow someone, then yeah, it'll get dirty, but generally it doesn't get too dirty in the front of the car when there's no one kicking dirt at you. However, the rear of the car does get pretty caked. It's pretty bad. Somehow it gets up here on the hatch when the hatch is down, which I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense to me, but I guess because there's a huge cloud behind you when you're driving, so I guess somehow it has to work, because it does. But yeah, it's real weird. And then, I mean, another thing, I guess, is exhaust. We do need that. We're doing a we're doing a hood exit, so it's just gonna come up and then just boop, pop right out the hood, just poke out just a little bit, not a whole lot. And then the wastegate, same thing, screamer pipe's gonna come up right next to it, and call it good. I think it's better that way. We'll get some nice flame action with a two-step, so that'd be pretty sweet. Alright, yeah guys, I just wanted to let you guys know where we're at the build, what needs to be done, and I mean, we're real close, guys. Like, we're almost there. We're at like the last home stretch. We're real close. It's probably gonna be another month before we start it, but we're real close, guys. We're real close. But yeah, I'm excited. Hopefully everything goes right on the first start, which it never does. But yeah, I'm real excited, guys. Like, it's a huge step up from the stock KA that I had in the car already. But yeah, the KA, it was all bad. We had to get rid of that guy and drop the RB in. And part of me wishes I didn't, but then again, I did learn a whole lot about RBs. Starting knowing nothing, I barely knew anything about KAs, and I still don't really know anything about KAs. I know they're decent motors, like if you build them right, but I guess a lot of people don't build them right, so that's why they don't have that great of a reputation. But RBs are great. They sound so good. For straight six, like straight sixes in general sound pretty fucking good. RBs sound, they sound better than 2Js. Like, I'm just throw that out there. That's a fact. You can argue in the comments, but 2J may make power better, but RBs sound better, hands down. If I was going just off sound, I would take an RB over 2J. But if someone wanted to give me a 2J, I wouldn't say no. You know, it's like, it's one of those things. They're both great, but kind of like RBs, you know? Become an RB fanboy ever since I got this motor. It's probably not healthy, but see, I just want to let you guys know about the wiring video mainly. I wanted to throw that out there before the wiring video drops, which honestly, hopefully I can drop it at the end of this week or the middle of next week, somewhere in there. But yeah, the wiring is super tedious. It's not fun. It's definitely a learning curve. But I mean, we're getting it done, and I think it's coming out pretty good. I have to order some more loom because I don't have the right size loom because I'm running too many wires now, and it's just a mess. And I ran out of heat shrink completely, so I have to get some of that as well. Alright guys, I'm gonna end it here. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave a like if you did. Comment your answer for the question of the day. I have it right here. Again, just to remind you. And hit that subscribe button. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.